Hello, today we are reading Front Desk, Chapter 22, and this is our second reading for our fluency evaluation. So this will be the second reading that I do of Chapter 22. Here goes. I sat at my desk with my hand over my tummy, not hearing a word Mrs. Douglas was saying. Wave after wave of nausea hit me every time I thought about the day before. The words Mr. Yao said, the words the cop said, I tried to drown them out. But they kept coming back. Jason turned to me and said, "Hey, meet me at the auditorium during recess." I looked over at him. Sometimes I forgot how much he was the spitting image of his father. "Please," Jason said. "It's important." I was about to shake my head, but there was an urgency in his eyes that I'd never seen before. Did his dad tell him what happened? Was that why he needed to talk to me so he could apologize? At recess, I walked over to the auditorium. Jason was already inside waiting for me. He smiled when he saw me come in. He was holding something behind his back, dandelions, which he presented to me. "These are for you," he said, stretching out his arm. I stared at the flowers, so warm and bright in my downcast hands. "You like them?" he asked. I nodded. "Slowly good," Jason said, relieved. "But what I really want is for your dad to..." "I know. I'm going to tell him as soon as he gets back from his business trip. I'm going to tell him," Jason said. I nodded. Good for him for finally standing up to his dad. "I don't care what he says," Jason said. "He needs to know how much I like you." I stopped nodding. "Wait, what?" I asked. He grabbed my arms and looked into my eyes. "I like you, Mia," he said again. I shook my head. No, I didn't want to believe it myself. I was like, "How is that possible?" Jason rattled on a mile a minute. "But it's true. Whenever I'm around you, Mia, I get this tingly feeling." My insides twisted and turned. A slimy snake was zigzagging through me. The more Jason described, the more I squirmed. "This isn't happening," I said, squeezing my eyes shut. I could feel my breakfast at the base of my throat. "Oh, it's happening," he said, "and it's going to be great." I turned to him. "Jason, I don't like you," I exploded. Jason looked like he'd been punched. But you said you liked the flowers. You said you wanted me to tell my dad. I thought you were talking about your dad being racist." Jason took a step back. "My dad's not racist," he said. "Yes, he is," I gasped to fill my lungs. "He's racist." "Shut up," Jason yelled. "No, you shut up." I looked at him hard. "I could never like you. Never, not even if you were the last boy on earth. I'd rather, like a rock. He turned and ran. I stood in the auditorium listening to the echo of my words, feeling a tiny bit mean, yet 100% relieved. Jason didn't come back to class after recess. When I asked, Mrs. Douglas said he wasn't feeling well and had to go home. Lupe immediately started poking me and asking me what happened, and when I finally told her, she wasn't even surprised. It makes sense, she said. I mean, you're both Chinese. How did that make sense? Just because we're both Chinese, we're supposed to like each other? What about the fact that he's evil and I'm not? Maybe it's a good thing, Lupe said. Maybe his dad will be nicer to your family from now on. I shook my head at her. The way I shot him down, there was no going nice. After that, there was only going nuclear. And that's the end of chapter 22. And make sure you evaluate the fluency of that.